One Piece Live-Action Season 2 might have a huge problem, and if you've not guessed it by now, stick with me for 5 minutes. This Netflix adaptation of One Piece was a huge hit, undoubtedly. It certainly broke the curse of another unforgivable. The first season did a great job bringing the world of One Piece to life, and it even broke the so-called live-action curse that has plagued many anime adaptations in the past. But just like a lot of core One Piece fans, I do fear that this praise might be short-lived. Here's why I fear that One Piece live-action is walking into a dangerous territory after Season 1. The Harry Potter problem. When Harry Potter films were first announced with the casting of Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, the makers were in quite a rush. Why? With the cast growing faster, the entire franchise had a cap of 10 years to finish the story, especially the early movies. Similarly, in the original One Piece story, Luffy, the main character, starts his journey at just 17 years old. However, Inaki Godoy, who plays Luffy in the live-action series, is already 20 years old. As the series goes on, and especially after the time skip in the story where Luffy is 19, the actors might start to look older than their characters are supposed to be. This could become a problem if the show doesn't keep up a quick pace in filming the seasons. This is similar to what happened with the Harry Potter movies. The main actors were growing up quickly, and the filmmakers had to work fast to finish the series before the actors looked too old for their roles. For One Piece, which has a much longer story, this problem could be even bigger. The Game of Thrones problem: quality. Adaptations that suck are not new to the industry. We have seen tons of those over the years. The fandom that tries to forget this year after year are the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. Thus, the other big challenge for One Piece Season 2 will be maintaining the high quality that made the first season so popular. The special effects, costumes, and sets were all top-notch in Season 1, which helped bring the world of One Piece to life. But as the story progresses, the show will have to recreate even more complex scenes, like massive battles, unique islands, and strange creatures. This will require a lot of time, money, and effort. If the quality drops in future seasons, fans might lose interest, and the series could struggle to keep its momentum. Pacing and scope of story. One Piece is one of the longest-running manga series ever, with over 1,080 chapters and counting. The story is incredibly detailed, with many different arcs, characters, and plot twists. For Netflix, turning such a long and complex story into a live-action series is a huge challenge. The first season covered the East Blue Saga, which is just the beginning of Luffy's journey. But future seasons will need to cover even more material, including the Alabasta, Skypiea, Water 7, and Enies Lobby arcs, just to name a few. Each of these arcs introduces new characters, locations, and storylines that are crucial to the overall plot. Adapting these arcs without losing important details will be difficult. The showrunners will need to make tough decisions about what to keep and what to cut, and they'll need to make sure that the story stays coherent and engaging. If the pacing becomes too slow or too fast, it could hurt the overall quality of the show. Newer characters. In future seasons, the series will introduce many new characters, each with their own unique personalities and backgrounds. Characters like Tony Chopper, a talking reindeer who is also a doctor, will be particularly challenging to bring to life in a way that looks believable in live action. There's also speculation about famous actors like Jamie Lee Curtis possibly joining the cast, which could bring in even more viewers but also adds pressure to get it right. Fantasy elements. One Piece is full of fantastical elements that are easy to pull off in an anime but much harder to do in live action. From giant sea monsters to characters with strange powers, the show will need to continue using high-quality special effects to make these elements look good on screen. For example, Tony Chopper's character is a reindeer who eats a devil fruit and gains the ability to speak and transform into different forms. This will require a mix of CGI and possibly practical effects to make it look believable, and it will be a big test for the show's production team. Franchise fatigue. Frankly, One Piece is now over a lot of things. And this idea especially gives me anxiety over the future of the series. With a new remake under works, anime and manga ongoing, live action also renewed for many seasons, it all feels like a lot. Thus, there's the risk of viewer fatigue. With so much content to cover, some viewers might start to feel overwhelmed or lose interest if the series drags on for too long. The showrunners will need to keep the pacing tight and make sure that each season feels like it's building towards something important, rather than just stretching out the story. They will also need to manage the release schedule carefully. If there's too much time between seasons, viewers might lose interest or forget important plot points. But if the seasons are released too quickly, it could hurt the quality of the show. Netflix's One Piece has made an impressive start, but the road ahead is full of challenges. From aging actors to the complexities of adapting a long and intricate story, the showrunners have their work cut out for them. However, if they can navigate these obstacles and keep the quality high, One Piece could continue to be a big hit for years to come. For fans, the best thing to do is to stay excited and hopeful. If the first season is any indication, the upcoming seasons of One Piece have the potential to be just as thrilling and engaging. But it's clear that the journey ahead will be anything but easy. If you have anything to add to the analysis, do share your thoughts with us in the comments.